Hello, children. I welcome you all to this English class. First, we'll see about the author. William Wordsworth was born in Cockermouth, United Kingdom on 7th April 1770 and died in Rydal Mount and Gardens, United Kingdom on 23rd April 1850. He was a major English poet who, with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, helped to launch the Romantic Age in English literature with their joint publication Lyrical Ballads. Wordsworth was Britain's poet laureate from 1843 until his death. He was popularly known as a nature poet. Some of his famous poems are Daffodils, The Solitary Reaper, To the Cuckoo, The Tables Turned, lines composed a few miles above Tintern Abbey. Okay, do you go for leisurely walks? If you are a city dweller, what or who would you expect to see on your way? Yes, we are living in Chennai, right? So, if we go to the beach for a walk, we may come across policemen, doctors, aged people, and even sometimes we may come across children too, isn't it? And not only that, we may enjoy the morning sun at the backdrop of the golden sea. Am I right? Yes. Okay, if you go to a village, what scenes would you observe there? Yes, in the village, we can see the milkmen going to the doors and selling milk, and farmers can be seen carrying ploughs on their shoulders and going to their fields, and we could see some sparrows chirping there and even pigeons fluttering there, right? And not only that, even we could observe the cows grazing on the way, isn't it? Yes. Here we have Unit 3 poem, lines written in early spring by William Wordsworth, which expresses the poet's feelings towards nature and the lessons he has learnt from it. The major theme of this poem is nature in all senses of the word. The poem touches on visually stimulating descriptions of a natural environment and the nature of mankind. It also underlines the natural connection between everything on earth, both the tangible and intangible. Nature, as she is named in the poem, is not an entity man can see or touch in and of itself. However, through the theme of connection, we do see and touch nature in all we consume, destroy, make, and love. Let's get into the poem. Children, listen carefully. Meanwhile, I'll ask you questions. Lines written in early spring by William Wordsworth. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined in that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Here, grove means a small area of land with a group of trees. Sat means old fashioned spelling for sat. Recline means lean back in a position of rest. Here, it was a day in early spring. The poet sardines in a grove. It was then that he heard some sweet music. It was a happy blending of a large many musical notes like the song of birds, the whispering of the breeze, the rustling of leaves, and the murmur of the streams, etc. The poet's mind was at rest. He was in pleasant and meditative mood. When one is on such a state, one experiences pleasant thoughts. Okay, where did the poet sit? Yes, the poet sat in a grove. What did he hear there? Yes, you are absolutely correct. He heard the music created by nature and birds, isn't it? Yes. To our fair works did nature link the human soul that through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. Here, grieved mean mourn or to feel intense. In this stanza, the pleasant thoughts brought about by the joys in the nature induce sad thoughts as one thinks of man and his world. Nature linked the human soul in the poet to her fair works. The more joy he saw in the nature, the more it grieved his heart to think what man had made of man. The man is occupying himself with the dread cry of earning and spending only. Man has shut himself to the pleasure the universe offers to him, and as a result, he has brought misery and sorrow for himself. So, totally, he has separated himself from the mother nature. Okay, whose fair work does the poet talk about here? Yes, the poet talks about the fair work of nature. Okay, what is the fair work mentioned here? Yes, the fair work is that nature links itself to the human soul. Am I right? Yes. Through primrose tufts in the sweet bower, the periwinkle trailed its wreaths, and this my faith that every flower enjoys the air it breathes. Here, primrose means a wild plant with yellow flowers. Tufts means bunches. Bower means a pleasant shady place under trees. Periwinkle means a trailing plant with a large blue flowers. Wreaths mean an arrangement of flowers in the shape of circle. In this stanza, the poet looked around. He saw the primrose tufts. He watched the periwinkle trailing its wreaths in that sweet bower. The flowers were pleasant and joyful. The poet strongly believed that every flower enjoyed the air it breathed. Okay, what is the poet's faith here? Yes, the poet's faith is that every flower enjoys its life, isn't it? Okay, what trait of nature do we see here? Yes, you're absolutely correct. We see the happiness of nature here, isn't it? Yes. The birds around me hopped and played. Their thoughts I cannot measure, but the least motion which they made, it seemed a thrill of pleasure. Here, hopped mean made short jumps. Motion means act of moving. Thrill means a cause of sudden excitement. In this stanza, the birds around the poet hopped and played. The poet could not measure their thoughts. He could not know what made them playful and joyous. He could only see that they were ecstatic. Every motion they made seemed a thrill of pleasure. Okay, what was the pleasure? Yes, the least movement of the birds seemed to be a pleasure, isn't it? Yes, the budding twigs spread out their fan to catch the breezy air, and I must think, do all I can, that there was pleasure there. Here, budding mean beginning to develop. Twigs mean small branches of a tree. Breezy means strong wind. In this stanza, the joyful sight of the flowers, the birds, and the twigs, along with the thousand blended notes, made the poet think there was pleasure there. The poet's mind is caught between, his mood fluctuates between nature and the human world. Okay, what did the poet notice about the twigs? Yes, the twigs try to catch the breezy air. Okay, what was the poet's thought about them? Yes, the poet's thought was that they were all very happy. Okay. Yes. If this belief from heaven be sent, if such be nature's holy plan, have I not reason to lament what man has made of man? Here, lament means to express sorrow or unhappiness about something. In the last stanza, the nature is all jolly and all pleasure. The human world is full of sorrows. Man is a part of nature. He ought to have been a part of nature's holy plan. The poet laments how man, by serving himself from nature's holy plan, has brought about miseries and disaster upon himself. Okay, what does heaven refer to? Yes, you are absolutely correct. Heaven refers to God. Why does the poet call it holy? Yes, as this is the plan of God, he calls it holy, right? Yes. Let's see few key points for better understanding. In this poem, the poet Wordsworth was reclining in a grove. He described his both pleasant and bitter memories. He could associate himself with nature. To him, flowers appeared as if they were enjoying the air they breathed. The birds hopped around and enjoyed themselves. The whole atmosphere was pleasant. Irresponsible act of man exploits nature. God created nature for all only to enjoy. Be peaceful and pleasant. Okay, children, up to this, the poem gets over. Hope you understand. If you have any doubt, you can ping me or call me to clarify all your doubts. Thank you.